Hiya anybody, it's Luppi here, and this is Super Mario 35, and here are today's daily challenges. Clear 2 courses. Target and send enemies to lowest time 30 times. Defeat 200 enemies. Easy enough. I just have to remember the lowest time thing, right? We're going to 7-4 today. Or we're going to try to. It's always a mixed bag, isn't it? You never know. You never know. Hopefully we don't have any weird discussions. I don't know, I don't mind if they get weird. I just feel bad, like, I just talk for an hour, you know? Or less, if we combined all my talking into like one little burst, I'm sure it's only like 20 minutes worth of talking. If it covers an hour, so there's a lot of dead space in there. If only we could pick up the pace and, like, motorize vocalization. But that would make me quite redundant, wouldn't it? If we motorized the speaking. Oh my goodness. What's next? Having AIs play games too? Like, that's not the first thing they do? First it's Deep Blue beating some guy at chess. Then it's some other robot beating that robot at chess. Before you know it, it's just bots and Call of Duty and Splatoon. So it goes, I guess. So it goes. Let it never be said that I'm a bot. Because I am quite officially more or less flesh and blood. More or less. Who knows what the tendrils are made out of, but you know. You don't have to worry about it. I'm here, you're here, we're all here. Why? Who knows? I'm here to make videos. And play games. I assume you're here to watch, but you may be here to make fun of me. And that's fair. That's fine. Don't make fun of my tendrils, okay? Like, if anything, comment on my oversized glasses. They are quite comical. Comment on my gray hair. Oops. Comment on my complete inability to, like, jump when I need to. You know. The complete inability to, like, come in clutch. That is also something I have in real life, too. I am a very disappointing person. In every arena. But that's okay. That is fine. Not the worst thing. Certainly not a good thing, but, you know. Most things aren't. Most things are pretty neutral at best. So why cry over milk that has yet to be spilled? You know? Like, if we're not gonna cry over spilt milk, why cry over potentially spilt milk, you know? Those are the words I leave you with today. The future hasn't happened yet, so why get upset about it? Although, like, I suppose that ideology could be twisted to be very against, like, taking preparations for the future, which is not a good thing. Always be prepared. But don't let your fear of what could be lurking in the future prevent you from taking actions that you need to take, you know? Fear is a paralyzing agent. Don't let it stop you. Unless you're, like, gonna take a selfie, like, on the Grand Canyon. Then let fear dissuade you from that. Like, that's playing one of life's dumb little lotteries. Will you be the one who falls off, or will you be the one who survives? I mean, is it worth it to you? To be a person with a great selfie? Or a person who dies? In a very dumb way. Your legacy being one article written by some random ding-dong who's going to make you out to look like a really dumb ding-dong. And I mean, if you fall into the Grand Canyon, like, you kind of are? I don't know. I know people do it all the time, but I don't know how I feel about it. It's kind of not something that affects me, living in Michigan. But maybe someday, Michigan will have a Grand Canyon of its own, once we finally drain Lake Michigan of all its vital fluids. That sounds really gross when you say it that way. The vital lake fluids flow through us all. They're also full of, like, industrial sludge from lots of people doing their stuff, you know. Just a thing that happens. Can't get too upset about it. All the fish are dead anyway, so, you know. Cycle of life and whatnot. Cycle of destruction, cycle of decay. Motorcycles, you know. Just the way it goes. Word salad nightmare. I want to jump off this vine and get that turtle. But I can't. So it goes, so it goes. It's already been 6 minutes? Wow. I lose all sense of time when I play this game. Or when I play any game, really. Sometimes, like, you know, you're watching the clock and you get like, it's only been 2 minutes? Ugh. But sometimes you get like, oh yeah, it's been 45 minutes. And what have I done with that time? Oh dear. My night has melted away. Which is just a very, like, casual way of saying, like, we've all had nights where you were just gonna get a few minutes in of, like, some random game. And before you know it, it's literally the next day. And you've pretty much done, like, a full 12 hours, you know. We've all done that before. It's not healthy. It's not good for you. But, you know, we've all done it. Some games just have that power. Or maybe we're just really weak. I don't know. I don't really make it a point to call people weak. Until, like, we're in a very specific, like, you know that very specific superhero trope where, like, someone's crushed under building rubble? And, like, it's only, like, the first half, like, is exposed, like, you know, like, their head and arms are, like, totally free, and, like, it's my leg trapped under this thing, you know? I don't know. And I know why it happens, because, like, nobody, like, it would be kind of, like, darkly funny in a way if, like, it was just someone's leg sticking out and they're, like, screaming, help, help. But I don't know. Like, if you ever read up of toxic crust syndrome, which is what happens to the body after it's been, like, crushed, like, basically, the damage that your body accrues because of that incident, like, it doesn't go away once you, like, unlift something. Like, your blood vessels are still smashed, your muscles are still, like, torn and whatnot, like, your body's still, like, damaged. And refusing to treat that, or, like, not knowing you have to treat that can result in, like, basically it's blood poisoning that happens after crushing. And it results in organ failure. So if you ever end up crushed, go to a doctor. And I know this isn't a situation that's gonna apply to most of you, but, like, when you think about it, we're all around giant machines all the time, constantly. So it's actually kind of a thing to keep in mind. Like, even if it never really applies, it's not a bad thing to have in mind, right? And I say this as someone who has had, like, a body part crushed. It was only my hand being crushed by, like, I forget how heavy it was. I think it was a 2-ton machine, because we were moving it. And I was stupid. And we didn't have good communication. Which is where all accidents come from. A lack of communication and people taking an initiative that they probably shouldn't have, you know? I was just moving a wood block so that the machine wouldn't, like, get unbalanced, but I really didn't need to do that. Or rather, I should have said, hey, I'm doing this thing. Make sure you have your hands off the lever. That's gonna drop this on my hands. I did not say that. And the guy with the lever thought everything was hunky-dory. Like, it hurt. I mean, it hurt. I didn't lose the hand and it wasn't damaged, like, in an obvious way. Which is, like, where the crush syndrome, like, really knowing it is important, because, like, sometimes it won't appear to be damaged. Like, internal bleeding, internal damage can be well hidden. Like, you expect swelling or, like, bruising, but sometimes it's slow to appear, or sometimes it doesn't appear at all. So just be aware of that. And no, I didn't go to the doctor for that one, which was really dumb. That was, like, super dumb, too. Thought it was just a hand. It was just a hand. It's not like it's a vital part of my body that I use every freaking moment of my life. I don't know. Could be worse. Like, it was fine. I did freak out a bunch of the guys, though, because I immediately had to, like, lay down, because I have epilepsy, and I am prone to losing consciousness. In situations, very specific situations. The one I told you about, talked about, is emotional stress. The other one is pain. Or trauma. Both of which have a very negative effect on my ability to remain, like, able to do stuff. And that was both, like, very traumatic and very, like, painful. And it wasn't, like, a sharp pain, it was, like, a slowly building... Like, I don't know, have you ever, like, put a, clothespin on, like, a finger? And, you know, at first you don't feel it at all. It's a little bit of pressure, you know? But, like, as it stays on there, it kind of, like, pinches more and more and more, and it hurts a little bit more. It was like that, except my entire freaking hand. And it really ramped up way quicker than the clothespin ever could, so... If you wanna, like... Not a close approximation, but... an approximation, you know. It was basically like that. Would not recommend. But yeah, the machine we were moving was a... like, 4-way punch or whatever. Forget what they're actually called. But yeah, it was at least a few tons. And it was not a smart thing to put my hand under. That was entirely my own fault. But we probably should have agreed on, like, better communication practices beforehand. Like, a complete lack of that is really dumb when you're moving machinery. But yeah, that was my experience in crushing my hand. It was not very fun. I really hope I never get to experience, like, crushing a whole body part or whatever. That would suck. Oh goodness. I need to... Well, that's this game. Thanks, game. I'm gonna lose, aren't I? Yeah, I'm doomed, I'm doomed. There's no hope for me now. There's no hope for me now. Oh, I thought there was no hope for me. Turns out there was a lot of hope. I always get scared when the timer goes under 100 seconds. It's never a fun place to be. But I do enjoy the desperation of it all. Oh, I forgot to send enemies to lowest time again. Darn it. That is the biggest Mine-Tidado? Mine-Tido? Dao? I don't know how to pronounce that. I know how to pronounce Mikapons, though, and Brit. Neat. Let's keep doing it. What other traumatic injuries have I had? I've had some really weird ones. Like, I burnt my left arm, like the entire underside of the forearm, like basically from the wrist to almost the elbow, on a pot pie. Like, those things are pretty hot once they're out of the oven. And for whatever reason, one fell off. My pot pies, my dinner, fell off the stovetop, or the counter. I don't remember where the plate was. All I know is it fell. And I, genius that I am, tried to catch it. And got an armful of hot pot pie. Scaldingly hot food items. It was not very good. It was distracting the first day. And then it blistered up pretty bad the second day. I woke up to this really gross, large, like, orangey blister. Very thin, like you could see through it and stuff. It was gross. So I made a point to like wrap it up and keep it wrapped and stuff. And that was good for about a week and a half. Or maybe it was 2 weeks. It was a while. But then it popped in my sleep. So that was even more gross. Because it was still really tender at that point. So I think it was only like a week. And maybe not even a week. But the whole time I had the blister, I basically didn't move when I got home. Because I could feel the fluids inside move, and it was so gross. Like, that's a weakness I guess I have, like, I can't handle the feeling of fluid moving on my body. I also can't handle my clothes being wet, so if you ever wanted to defeat me, there's 2 options for you. That instantly weaken me by a considerable amount. But yeah, I did basically nothing that week. Like, I ended up, like, literally over a week behind in homework because I simply didn't do it. Which is a little surprising to people because, like, they're always like, but you were such a great student in school, and it's like, not in middle school. Like, did not care. The moment I got the Nintendo DS, I was like, I don't have to care about anything else in life. This thing is the future. And it kinda was, like, not in a real way. Not in a super life-changing way, but, you know, it kinda was. That's a lot of Koopas. I don't know what I should be doing, but probably destroying Koopas. So yeah, that's the time I burnt my hand. And, like, it was really gross because, like, after it had popped, I still spent a considerable amount of time with it, like, all wrapped up and, like, still applying, like, lotions and stuff. The first time I washed it off, like, all the skin and all the, like, second skin, like, lotion stuff and all the, like, what's the stuff for burns? Like, all of that stuff just came off in, like, this weird, like, lizard skin, like, peel. I would not recommend that ever. Oops. I was doing really well. I had 3 KOs, and I just fell off. Like a ninny. Oh well. We've had a really weird day in this game so far, so I don't really mind. Yeah, that burn was ridiculous. I think that is the worst one I've had in terms of, like, effect on my life. Most painful one was one time I burnt when I was like 8 years old, and I burnt my finger on hot glue. Like one of the old school hot glue guns that actually gets, like, way too hot. You know, that can actually, like, melt through stuff. Yeah, that was not fun. That was not fun. And my parents didn't believe me that it hurt so bad, so, like, it's not like we treated it or anything. They're just like, well, the blister will pop on its own, blah, 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 and learn how to be smarter around hot glue, I guess. Like, that was it. And, like, there's a long history of, like, that kind of stuff happening with my parents. So, that may be a reason why I don't trust adults and why I'm very, like, protective about, like, those who are younger or those who are, like, not in positions of power. Fairly anti, like, authority in in a lot of situations. But also at the same time very much like, hey, if listening to authority is the easiest thing to do, or, like, the right thing to do, like, quotation marks right, but I don't know. it's hard to balance. Like, I just want what's best for myself usually. And if that can be spread out to be what's best for other people, that's pretty great too. But yeah, that's burning. And there was another injury I had in my youth where my parents ignored me, and that had significant health ramifications for my future. And that would have been, I was playing on the trampoline with my cousin and sister. Oops, that's not... Yep, that wasn't enough. And we bounced really high, and I landed wrong. And I was young, so I don't actually remember the specific name of the injury. But I do know that I tore something very badly. And that because my parents just assumed I was being a little baby about a sprained ankle, they didn't take me to a doctor until like 2 weeks later, I think. A week and a half, 3 weeks, I don't know. Like, I was younger than when I burnt the finger. So, I was young. And I know I fainted multiple times after this happened. But it was bad. And both of my parents were like, yeah, we should have listened to you, and we should have took you to the doctor like day of this happening. And it's a really irresponsible thing, like, for them to do, but in context, like, both of them came from families, like, my mom was literally like an old school farming family. So, like, from her perspective, like, you suck it up. Like, you put a salt tablet in your mouth, you suck it up. Horses die. Stay away from electric fences, blah blah blah. You know, like, really old school, like, old tough, like, person outlook. But I am a soft baby from the modern age. So that really doesn't jive with, like, me. But, like, basically, as long as we weren't bleeding everywhere or puking everywhere, like, my parents were kind of like, suck it up. Which probably explains a lot about me, I guess. It would explain why I'm, like, really, really weak, but also kind of tough in the dumbest ways. Like, definitely not tough in a way where I could, like, survive a fight, but definitely tough in a way where, like, I could probably get a horrible injury and just, like, shrug it off. A little bit better than the average person. Or for someone of my, like, features, you know? So that's kind of neat. That's kind of something that's kind of cool about me, that now you know too. I have a lot of traumatic, like, I don't know if I'd call them traumatic, but I have a lot of memories of, like, I just have a lot of memories. We all do. Like, one time, I don't know. It's not really my story to tell, so I'm not gonna tell it. I'm sorry if that's a little bit of a tease, but it's actually not really my story to tell. And I've already demonized my parents enough, I feel. Oops, I got distracted again. I was trying to think of what I'm gonna tell you next. Since I'm not gonna tell you the story I was gonna tell you. What would be a fun story to go over? Huh. I don't know. Cause, like, on one hand, like, I was really lucky because I never really broke any bones until I was in high school. So I don't really have any cool, like, oh yeah, I had my arm in a splint for a summer stories, or like, oh yeah, I broke my leg playing soccer. I didn't really play sports until high school. And I only took 4 years of gym. I don't know, I spent my whole life, like, avoiding sports and stuff, and turns out if you have a good group of guys who are, like, willing to cheer you on and, like, take you under their wing and show you how to, like, actually move your body in a human-like way, sports can be pretty fun. I enjoyed the camaraderie, you know? And I think that's how sports gets you. The camaraderie, the ability to improve yourself, like, that's some pretty freaking sweet things right there. But yeah, I broke my finger playing flag football in high school. And all of my injuries were in my senior year. I got three years through without an injury. And then I freaking, in my senior year, broke my finger and broke my wrist on the same arm. Like, when I went to college, the arm I broke repeatedly was super weak, because I didn't go through physical therapy after I actually broke my wrist. Because it was like right up to going to college, and they were like, just don't overstrain it, you know, try to carry your books in your other arm, try to do everything with your other arm, but also like slowly ease into using the damaged arm, you know, like don't end up back here, you know, focus on your studies, you know, and that was nice. But breaking the finger was interesting, because even after the physical therapy I couldn't bend my finger again, and they were like, well, probably what happened was one of the tendons or muscles or whatever. Like, I don't think there's any muscles in your fingers, it's just tendons, right? But they were like, well, we think that whatever helps your finger move got caught on the bone. You'd have to have more surgery to like fix it. And I, being stupid, was like, well, that's a cost my parents probably can't afford. So no, I can just live the rest of my life without being able to move this finger joint. And that was dumb. That's very dumb. Like, we're already halfway on this river. Just let's go all the way through, you know? And if that surgery turns out to be a bust, like, then at least we tried, right? So I do have a finger joint I can't move. It gets very sore if I don't move it manually, though. And it gets very stiff, like, very quickly. And I don't enjoy that. It gets really cold, too, all the time. But yeah, the worst thing I've ever felt, other than, like, tearing that tendon or, like, ligament in my ankle, the worst thing I've ever felt was when we took the cast off of my finger and we tried to move it around again. That was the worst. Literally the worst. I fainted. I could not handle... Like, I hadn't moved it for weeks at that point, like... And it was pain, but it was just... I don't know how to describe it. Like, I can describe taking the pins out. That was burning. That was a weird bone burning sensation. Like, you usually don't feel things inside your bones. So when they remove pins from your bones, like, it's an unpleasant feeling. But I don't know how to describe that first time we moved my freaking finger. Other than, like, just trauma. It was a very small scale, like, docile form of trauma. But yeah, those are my experiences with, like, injuries. I get injured a lot, because I'm pretty careless. I wish I was a little more careful sometimes, because you only get one body, you know? We haven't really figured out, like, cybernetics. And until we do, like, I'm kind of stuck in this meat body. And I don't mind that, like, I've said I like being myself. No matter how weak and inefficient my body is, it's fine, I'm me. I like being me. But if you could pour me out and let me stomp on my own brain, like, I'd take that. Like, I would love that. Give me that. Let me be poured out, and let me stomp on my own brain. Like, I want it in my will. If we ever get to the point where we can, like, upload ourselves, like, even if it's, like, what's the game, Soma? Or is it the other one that I'm thinking, where, like, they upload people and stuff? And the way it works is, spoiler alert, it just makes a copy. Like, you're still your meat self. It's just you got a digital you too running around. I want Digi-me to crush, like, meat body me. That's how I want to resolve that little, like, it's not a paradox, it's just a really weird situation. of treating, like, meat computers like real computers, you know? Which is why I don't really think it's gonna happen, because there's a lot of, like, implications that we can't really treat our meat computers like real computers. Although there's also a lot of implications that we actually totally can, so you never really know. It really depends on who's doing the science, I guess, and who's paying them to do it. Which is always a silly thing. Let me stomp this guy, please. Cool. No, don't get killed. There we go. As much as I want all the time, I really need the power-up. I really do. There's a lot of Hammer Brothers. I'm not appreciating this. That's fair. Nice. Perfect timing. Oh no. Even better. Neat. I need power-ups. I don't even care. Get me out of here. Thank you. Of course. Why would you, oh, of course, I stand right where the hammer is gonna come. Tried to dodge it because the one went pretty far. And nope, not in the right spot. I'm never in the right spot. Oh well. We have as many tries as we want. It's all about the journey, right? But yeah, injuries. Pretty fun stuff. I'm covered in scars. I was shortly after my birth, so you know, that's just a part of life. Like, I really wish I had a better... Oh, that was very early for a KO. Very nice. Very nice, very nice. But I wish I knew my medical history better, because I really wish I could just pop out all the names of the things that I've been diagnosed with, or like all the surgeries I've had. And it hasn't been many, it's just been like the one on my internal organs when I was a baby. And then the finger operation. Like, I did go through one finger operation. And that was before they realized like they'd probably have to do more to get my finger moving. Which was kind of what soured me on the idea, because it's like, we already did the one, like, what's more gonna... And it's like, yeah, but we didn't know we had to do the second one. And it's like, okay. That's life. You know, hindsight's always 20/20. That's not to blame the finger doctors, like, sometimes things just happen, you know? I think what talking about all this is really making me see is, why the heck would adults let, like, a dependent person, someone who's legally dependent, someone who's still a child, make choices that would have huge ramifications for themselves? Like, oh, and there's also the ear surgery when I was a child too, wasn't there? Yeah. Because, and this kind of loops back to the other topic, like, I went deaf as a child when I was learning, about the time I was learning how to speak. Which is why I have a difficulty speaking, moving my lips and stuff, because I didn't really follow the traditional, learning how to do everything with my mouth, you know, vocalizations that everybody else does. So there are some sounds that you guys can make, probably, that are very difficult for me, if not outright impossible. And I'm sure I could learn how to speak them with practice, but I never went through practice. Like, they literally let, like, a 5-year-old kid, like, decide, nah, man, none of this speech therapy. When's that gonna help you in life? Oof. But I suppose the way I talk makes me the unique me that I am. A little bit. So I really can't... I don't know. Between that and like the finger surgery and probably actually doing like physical therapy after I broke my arm, we really should have found a doctor where I was at in college so I could like actually go to physical therapy. That would have been smart. Because even now, my poor left arm is still pretty pathetic. I mean, it's not as bad as it was. It's been a decade, you know? Like, I would hope it wouldn't be like a shriveled husk of itself forever. But it's still nowhere where it was, like, before I broke it. Which isn't really saying much, but you know. I actually did spend some time in high school. And this is kind of a funny story, because, like, the other guys in school always tried to get me to use the weight room at the school, like, during gym and stuff. They're always like, oh, you're so scrawny and weak, like, we need to buff you up. And I was always like, no. Because that's not the kind of friendship I desire here. I'm gonna do things on my own terms. But I was a little concerned about being scrawny. So I did, like, not lifting weights, but, like, I had this crate of paints. And I would lift that, and I got both my arms to be basically about the same. So it's a darn shame that I broke my left arm twice. Because it'll never be the same ever again unless I put the effort in again. And I don't think I will. It's been 10 years. It's been 10 years. And I guess, like, it's never too late, you know? It's just... I'm easy to distract with stuff, and I'm really only capable of focusing on my priority. Like, if it's not a need or a want, like, I can't really care. I don't know, that sounds pretty bad. But I feel like that's a very human way of looking at it, you know? Like, we've only got so many days, we've only got so much time. Like, we can't really be expected to care about everything. Can't really be expected to put all of our stuff on hold for other people's stuff. Without, like, a really good reason, you know? But maybe that's really whiny. I don't know. But yeah, between the speech therapy, the finger surgery, and the arm therapy, like, why would anybody, like, care what a young person has to say on any of this stuff, you know? I don't know. Screw this, like, modern world where children actually have rights and opinions, and we respect that. Or at least we try to, I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't really seem that way. Like, when you... Like, it's a little depressing, but, like, when you think about how much of, like, our modern stuff probably results... or needs, like, child labor in order to, like, get into our own hands. Like, clothing items, like, shoes are very bad about this. But, like, literally probably any computer definitely uses, like, some child labor. At some point down the line. Cool, that was... I didn't even lose my power-up that time. Neato. I did there. That's fair. Oof. Really? That's fair. I'll take it. It is what it is, right? Sometimes what it is a weird journey we take. Really? Sideways Koopa, you're betraying me? No, Bowser. You're not supposed to do this to me. Dang it. Okay. Oh boy. That could have been bad. It's fine, it's fine. I think the most important thing is, and I'm not really the best person to give this advice, because I don't really take it all the time myself, is no matter what you experience, to keep trying to live. You know, like, some things are really bad and really hard to get over. Like, definitely. But it also doesn't help that we don't, at least like in the United States, we don't really have a country that supports people. This isn't really a country known for giving those who need a helping hand a helping hand. Which is dumb because, like, I don't know, a lot of people are way more generous than you'd think. Based on, like, the people they support or, like, the policies, choices they support. A lot of people give to charity, a lot of people, like, work in their communities, and it's just, I don't know, it's a little sad that, like, we don't really give everybody the tools they need to, like, have the best life they can. Well, can I get a POW block, please? Okay, good enough. I am wasting a lot of time, aren't I? Oh well, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. It's always fine, isn't it? Or at least we're gonna make it fine, right? Another Bowser. Another Bowser. I want all the sideways Koopas, that's what I care about. Give me all of those ding-dongs. Yeah, give me another one of you. Idiot. Oops. I guess I'm the idiot. Neat. That was a lot of Goombas. Still got 4 Marios just hopping around. Oof, that was a collision we could have avoided. I'm gonna actually pretend that this is a positive thing I can do. Oh, neat. No regrets. No regrets. No yogurt. Just full power through. Beating the flame back. Oh my goodness. That is excessive. That's an excessive amount of Bowser. And I say this as a fan of, like, the Bowser Koopa. But that is an excessive amount of... Oh boy. Oh cool, thank you. I need you to die, Sideways Koopa. You and I can see eye to eye later. Of course. Just don't kill me. Don't kill me. That's all I ask. It's not too much to grasp, is it? Cool, cool. Doing our best. Oh, dang it. This is where I die. This is where I lose all my time, isn't it? Crap. From Bompulus. Okay. Not the worst thing that could have happened. This is still the shorter / easier version of the stage. Cool, I'm just gonna plow through you guys all invincible, I guess. I'm gonna ruin someone's day, for sure. Wow. You know what? I'm never gonna complain about the random whatever ever again. It knows what it's doing. It knows what it's doing, and it may not be right, but I'll take it. Cool, cool. I'll take it. 3rd place? 2nd place? Neat. Who could have foreseen that? I know I couldn't. Aw, yeah, 2nd place. I am a winner. Not yet, but hopefully soon. I've still got... Aw, man. Decoy turtle? Decoy turtle? Yeah, no. You're ruining my life, Bowser. Okay, this is where we make it all back, isn't it? Or at least we try. Nice, nice, nice. Look at all those enemies falling to my feet. My immortal, invincible feet. Nice. Almost into the jaws of defeat. We haven't seen 7-4 at all, but hey, at least we've won twice by barely trying. Although the first one was scary, right? I feel like that's how I remember it. How do you even pronounce that, like, come up name? That's not English. That's interesting. I want to look that up. But yeah. The most recent, like, injury would be the hand crushing. I don't think I've experienced anything worse than that so far. But I don't know. Like, my joints get really sore now as an adult. Now, it's probably because I don't actually, like, move most of the time, and then I, like, move too much. Like, I'm not really good at balancing out, like, my activity. Like, I'll have days or weeks where I just pretty much only really get up to, like, use the bathroom or make food. Like, don't even leave the house, and then I'll have, like, periods of time where, like, I'll walk miles to, like, go somewhere. So that's not good. Or maybe that's great, and I just need to do more of that. I don't know. Like, I always remember, like, reading books on, like, human bodies or fitness and how, like, they talk about people who, like, run or walk, like, long distances, like, how messed up their feet get and stuff. And it's like, yeah, but isn't some of that at least, like, normal wear and tear? You know? Like, if you use tires or brakes for 10,000 miles or 100,000 miles, like, they're gonna look pretty gross too, right? Like, you just assume, like, and unlike these mechanical things where we get to pick, like, what elements we make them out of, like, the human body is just made out of whatever it can cobble together, you know? Like, a lot of protein, a lot of calcium. Really doing a lot of work that it usually wouldn't, you know? Is one way to look at it. And like, but what would, like, what's even the reason for, like, adding that kind of information? And it's like, most people aren't going to go that hard. Most people aren't going to do, like, Olympic athlete or completely natural human, like, not scavenger, hunter-gatherer levels of, like, activity. That's just me being a little nitpicky. And to be fair, like, a lot of it is just the fact that some of our human inventions that are really great for non-human things, like roads for cars, aren't really made for our soft human bits. And running on a road or on sidewalk isn't as good for you as running on dirt. Of course, I could be wrong. I don't know. There's some interesting science both ways, I think. Although, it could just be, like, whoever's getting paid to, like, whoever's trying to, like, sway which way, like, footwear goes, you know? Like, there's the footwear that's supposed to be, like, super padded, super great for, like, hard surfaces, our artificial gross world, you know? And then there's this trend of, like, really simple shoes, because the puffy stuff actually wears out your joints or whatever, you know? And I think there's a lot of articles, there's a lot of anecdotal stuff that says that a lot of research papers are bought and paid for by companies that need a specific result. And even if they're not, like, the stuff you see is only what they allow you to see. And I always hate, like, the conspiratorial, like, them. They don't want you to know cancer is cured, or they don't want you to know the world's run by lizard people. So it's always, like, really dumb garbage whenever somebody starts using they in that way. But at the same time, like, there really are, like, boards of people. And it's usually a bunch of people making these choices. It's not like one person being like, oh yeah, fuck puffy shoes. Flat shoes are in this decade. That's where all the money is going. That's where all the money is. Like, I don't know. It's like, what's the economist who made up the invisible hand theory? Something Milton or something Morton or something? I don't know. Some guy back in the day said a really neat thing. And that neat thing was that to understand economics in a way that would make sense to, like, producers and receivers, you'd actually have to see it as an invisible hand. Like, no one part creates, like... How am I gonna describe this? I'm gonna do it wrong, aren't I? Basically, the invisible hand is... Nobody sets out to make a pencil. But pencils are made every day. In vast, huge numbers. Right? So why does this happen? Well, because people who profit off of, like, the steel to make the little eraser nubbins, and the people who profit off the rubber that makes the erasers, and the people who profit off the wood that makes the actual pencils, and the people who profit off the, like, mining of the graphene, or graphite, or whatever you want to call it, they all want to profit, so they always sell it to each other, or to a group that's going to put it together. And it's a very complicated thing. A very neat kind of thing, but very complicated. And in general, it's just supposed to illustrate that nobody really cares about their effect on the world. It's just about getting all the money into your own hands. And that's kind of a really dumb, horrible way to put it, but it's also kind of true. You know. Kinda. And I explained it really terribly. I'm struggling to stay alive right now. I'm sorry. I don't have the brain power to explain the invisible hand concept better. I'm sorry. But it's kind of easy to understand in real life, you know? Like, there really are, like, tons of things. Oh, come on. Just... There we go. Was that so hard? I'm sure it was. I don't have the coins to survive, so I hope that the last two people go down without a fight. Because I cannot survive it. Maybe I'll be fine, though. I don't know. You never know. Haha! I've got coins a little bit better now. Nice. But yeah, there's a lot of, like, interesting economic theory from, like, the 1700s. A lot of it is, like... A lot of it tries to twist the world into a way that it's not, though. Like, that's just how theories were back in the day. Like, they really wanted to insert, like, humanity's natural goodness, or condemn humanity. Like... I don't know, it's a really interesting. Oops, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. Yeah, I'm willing to waste coins now. I'd rather do it now than in the dark future where I've got like 200 coins and I've got 100 seconds to use them. On paper. In real life, it's more like 10, but you know. Whatever. Yeah, I don't even care. You're both dead. That's all that matters to me. Bozos. That's all that matters to me. Of course. I'm a fool. I should have let that just go. Darn. Oh well. You got an easier win than you would have. Rejoice, friend. This will probably be the last round. I don't know. I've got stuff I need to do. I need to make videos for like the last 3 days? It's kind of an excessive amount. But I've been behind since Christmas, so we're gonna try to get caught up before New Year's. Make that the thing. That's the idea. Like, it's weird to me that there are people who believe this United States is explicitly a Christian nation when it was literally founded mostly by, like, deists, you know? Or are they theists? I don't know. I know they weren't atheists, and they did, like... I don't know. All I know is they weren't explicitly Christian. And the use of God isn't really supposed to be like the God of the modern supply-side Jesus people, but you know. Or even like the slightly less modern evangelists of like the 1800s. Like, Christianity in America is actually pretty fascinating to, like, research. Because it's undergone a lot of different, like, evolutions. And, like, the way it changes based on region, too, is pretty interesting. Like, you got your Southern Baptists, you got your Mormons in the West, and then you've got all kinds of other different groups, too. It's always interesting. Like, what really gets me is like all those groups, like the more zealot people within them would argue that the people in other groups aren't really real Christians. And that's what always gets me. I was brought up Episcopal, so there was none of this like, oh yeah, Baptists aren't real Christians, or Catholics aren't real Christians. It was just like, go to church. Sometimes the things that happen change based on like the period of time it is according to like our traditional whatevers, you know? That's life. All it means is like the random people who carry the candles and the books and the like the priests wear different color like robes for different parts of the year, you know? Not that big of a deal. I don't know, that's definitely a very simplified and very like watered down. It's simplified and watered down. It's just bones. That's what I'm giving you. I'm giving you just bones version of being an Episcopalian. I don't know. I find religion... I guess I don't really think about it too much. Like, I don't find the idea of heaven or God to be a positive thing in my life. But I don't really think of them as negatives. I don't know. Like, the idea of heaven always scared me as a kid. Because the way, like, people talk about it, like, oh yeah, your dead loved ones can watch you at any point, and that's super creepy. Or like just the idea of like everybody who's ever lived or died being in one place, like at what point does heaven become full, you know? Like, does it never become full? Like, how can it be heaven if like, I don't know, if all you want to do is see your grandmother again, but she's hanging out with all like her dead friends throughout her life, like, that kind of sucks. But like, you shouldn't monopolize someone's time, and it's like, yeah, but like, in heaven, your ego's probably dead. So you really wouldn't have these petty thoughts and concerns, and it's like, I don't know. Sounds a bit too much like saying, without a human brain, we wouldn't have our wants and needs and our weird desires. Which would probably be true. But I don't know. Maybe emotions are just a byproduct of being conscious. Maybe it's just a byproduct of, like, expecting several 100 million different kinds of meat computers all overlapping each other, separated by hundreds of millions of years of evolution, kind of coexist. I don't know. I think that's kind of the most interesting thing about it. Like, there's no one answer. There's no one good answer. Oof, that was silly. Although I'm certain that there's tons of people who definitely believe in their one answer. Religious, scientific, completely made up whole ham by themselves, you know? A lot of people just... I don't know. Why do people need an answer? I guess that's the question, isn't it? Why do we need answers? And it's not to say that, like, wanting answers isn't good. Like, definitely asking questions and wanting to understand is a positive quality. I set my mental train into motion, but I don't have the brain power to keep it, like, going in a way that would actually be beneficial or, like, positive. I don't know. Maybe it's time to stop thinking of positive and negative in terms of, like, whether it actually achieves a result. But I suppose that's a real, like, post-scarcity way of looking at things. Or maybe it's a post-mortality way of looking at things. Or maybe it's a post-humanity way of looking at things. I don't know. Maybe all those things are the same thing. Or maybe they're all nothing. We're just humans, living this neat existence on a weird rock that somehow, someway, against the odds, sprouted life. And I guess that's kind of a beautiful thing, isn't it? If there's anything I do against the odds, it's come out on top in this game. That's what I want to do. That's my against the odds thing. Who needs to create life when you can just get first place in one last game for the year? Yes, yes. Come on. I don't really think my odds are that good though. Everybody else has at least 100 coins. Probably more than me, at least. And it doesn't look like anybody is struggling. I could be wrong, but I don't really see anybody doing too bad. And I keep making mistakes, so I just keep jumping in the holes. I don't know why. Too distracted talking to you guys, trying to be entertaining. With my stories, and my weird opinions, and my musings. Aw, man. Of course. Of course. Waste my time. Will you? Oh, cool. I only want to go through 1-4 once, I feel. That would be ideal. We're almost... I feel like we're getting close to the end game of this. I feel like it. Yep. One last go through serious style on this course. And then... Panic as... Cool, cool. Hey, buddy. You're gonna help me out. We do have 500 coins, though, so... That'll help. That will definitely help. So we'll see where it goes. Maybe I'll jump into a hole and end it early. Maybe I'll get second or third place. Of course. What am I doing? I guess I know what I'm doing now. Cool, cool, cool. Neat. I certainly do enjoy that. That is a thing. That is very nice. Of course. I need something better, please. Why wouldn't you do that earlier, you fool? Okay. Not totally doomed. Not totally in a great situation, but you know, not totally doomed. Generally the way you want to be. Being totally doomed is never fun. Although you never really realize it until it happens, right? Like, I fully expect, like, within my lifetime to see the world end. But to be able to be one of those privileged few who gets to not know what's gonna happen until it's too late. There's gonna be everyone, like, let's not get it wrong. Like, the amount of people are going to know beforehand are gonna be very small. But that's just my negative assumption, maybe. Oops. That's not what I want to do. Okay, it doesn't look like there's enough enemies to sustain my life processes for very long. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. It's fine. We're still above 300 so far. Oh, Jesus. That was pretty cool. That was a lot of lucky stuff. Oh, no, no, no! No! Screw me over! Okay, cool, cool, cool beans. Okay, this is probably not the best situation to be in, but you know what? We'll take it. I want you, because I can't guarantee that anything else is going to help me out that much anymore. And I'm willing to waste all of my coins to do this. What are you doing, random person? I see you. Lurking. Nice. Nice! We did it! It only took an hour and 9 minutes. But we won a few matches. Decisively. Skills. Oh, they were actually pretty well leveled. Nice. A lot of Japanese names, though. Is there a poop? Poop head, okay. I knew I saw that. You guys have such great names. And yeah, we don't have any icons, but we're level 94 with a star. So hopefully, we get to level 100, or not level 100, level 1 double star at some point. That'd be pretty cool. So, oh my goodness, we never did the lowest time? Well, we can't let that go, can we? Why do I always do this to myself? Why do I always do this? Oh well. One last round. It'll be a quickie. We'll make it go by really fast. I can't believe I forgot to do lowest time. Oh. I even made it a point when I was reading it to be like, lowest time, Luppi. This is a thing you'll have to remember. Oh, and I'm even playing as Mario. Okay. I'm not motivated now. I'm just not that motivated. I'm just not that enthused. Oop! I'm having troubles. Is this 30 yet? Close enough, right? Look at that person. Making it oh my goodness. Making it all the way to 1-2. Without a plan. Care in the world. Reminds me of me sometimes. Yeah, I don't want to lose my flower. My fire power. My flamethrower of my heart. The meatballs. They are definitely a groovy thing to have. Oh, come on, hit the blocks, please. Is it that hard? Of course not. I'm just taking the... I had such a great run, and then I had to finish up the other thingy I forgot to do. If only I remembered earlier, you know? The way people should. It's been a season. Okay. Knocked out some piranha plants. I just won't be back to normal until I read the next chapter of One Piece and Attack on Titan. I'm gonna blame it on that. Got a lot of space in my head, just waiting for the new chapters. Volume 34 is the last one of Attack on Titan. By the time this video is uploaded, like, the last chapter may be close to coming out. That's wild. That's really wild. I've been reading it since 2013, I want to say. Wow. I've been reading One Piece, though, since, like, 2003? 3 more years and it's 20 years. That's wild. Like, the series is older than I was when I started reading it at this point. That's so bizarre to think about. Man. That's pretty intense. I can't imagine doing something for 20 years of my life so intensely, but I guess that's what separates the people who achieve and those who don't, right? Maybe that's a bit too negative. Like, sometimes it's just... I don't know. Sometimes it just doesn't feel like it's the right time for stuff, you know? Oh, poop. Why would I do that? Well, that wasn't exactly what I wanted to do, but, you know, still max out our timer, so oh well. I need to definitely kill one of you. There we go. Neato burritos. There's only 11 Marios left. That's pretty cool. I feel like we're pretty safe on the lowest time stuff, so we can probably go to attackers now. Go to attack. Really? Okay, that's fair. Oh no, okay, cool. I was afraid I was gonna lose that immediately. That would've sucked. Wait, did I turn on... I'm pretty sure I turned on my microphone. I'm afraid I didn't. Oops. Well, I mean, it's not like you're gonna hear it if I turned it off. Or left it turned off. I feel like the fact that that happens sometimes is just a really good example of why I should just leave it on and just delete the sound files afterwards for anything I don't want to have commentary for. That would be the, like... It wouldn't be the smartest thing to do, but it'd definitely be the safest. Especially because it wouldn't be the first time I've done this. And that's life. Oof. Oof. You know, I said I wasn't that enthused, but I'm still going. Wild. Oop. I'm not gonna die here. I know exactly what I'm doing. I know exactly where I need to jump to. See? Easy peasy. Now we're down to 9. And there's 7 too. Not exactly the stage I wanted, but I'll take it. This early in the game. This early in the game, we're just about to be moving on to the next stage with the red timer. Oops. Neat. That literally was what I needed, but it wasn't really the way I wanted it to be done, of course. Yikes. Well, it's not like there's anything we can do about that. Until there is something I can do about it. Cool, cool, cool. Now give me an easy stage to replenish my coins, please. Oops, I should have not been so dumb. But hey, we did the thing. Got 8th place. And that's the game. That's where we're leaving off on the New Year's. I'll see you next time. This is Luppi. Thank you for watching. Bye.